Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you out to the shed of many names on this beautiful evening. I was going to clean the Usnea that me and Junior harvested, and I got to thinking there's a lot of questions people have, and this would be a perfect opportunity to give you insight of what to look for, where to look for it, and to stay positive and keep searching for it. Now, Usnea grows worldwide. It is a lichen, but it does have some algae traits. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic, a good one. It is antiviral, stink bug video bombed, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, and several other antis. Extremely medicinal. Perfect for colds, flus, infections, bronchitis, pneumonia, uh, UTIs. The list goes on, and of course, I'll have more information in the description box below. Now, to answer some of y'all's questions, where can you find it? In places where there's not a whole lot of pollution. Fairly off in the woods. Now, I have found it in the middle of the city, so it can fool you. I have found it growing on oaks, apple trees, black walnuts, pecans. It really loves sweet gum trees. Some grow on conifers. It all depends on your area. Worldwide, there is at least 600 different species of Usnea. And when I say worldwide, yes, that means America, Canada, South America, in Europe, England especially, uh, Middle East, Asia. It's all over, y'all. You just have to look for it. Now, when do you know it's no good? Believe me, you could tell it. It is ugly. It will pretty much just crumble in your hands. And yeah, you wouldn't want to use it, not whatsoever. You could tell the difference. Sometimes it's hard to find because, yes, wildlife eat it and use it. Deer, elk, moose, rabbits, squirrels, birds will use it to put in their nest. So yeah, we're fighting against wildlife too. But there's many different kinds. So look in your area, do research, see what it might look like in your area. Because yeah, it can look like a lot of many different things. Now, make sure that what you go to gather is not, if you're especially further south, it is not Spanish moss. Do not gather that. That's a totally different plant. It's in the bromeliad family. Spanish moss is not Usnea. Now, here in the south, Usnea does not get great big. Once in a blue moon, like this last trip, I was blessed to find some big balls of it. Most of the time, it's little bitty, and I'll show you the different sizes. You have to look close. Northwest coast up into Canada, it gets really long, and they call it old man's beard for a reason. Extremely medicinal, extremely medicinal. So let's look down here and see what I've got to clean up. Got a whole lot of it. Some of it, there were so many on the branches, that we just left it and brought the branches home. A lot of times the Usnea looks like something that come out of a sci-fi movie. Here's a big, beautiful piece that I found. See that weird green color? It's going to have a weird color. Now what you want to do is you will see the base of it right here, where it attached to the tree. That is part of the tree bark. Take that off. Put the Usnea in your bowl. Here's another sci-fi looking piece. This only means that it was going to spore and repopulate itself. Nothing wrong with this. You can use it as also. Just make sure any dead brown branches of the Usnea, pluck that off. Now, you want to laugh? Usnea can also look like that. See those itty bitty pieces on there? You better believe it. I'm going to pluck that right off. Make sure I don't get any of the bark, the tree bark on it. You want the Usnea, not the bark. And you just gently keep plucking it off. And I'm telling you, little bitty, y'all, little bitty. Now, the wood that you might bring home, save it. Put it in, campfire, your fire pit. You can put it in your compost pile. Now here's a bigger. This was some of Junior's doing. Alright. Most of your Usnea will be found on fallen branches. When you see branches that are coated with this, you can pretty much guarantee somewhere close by there's going to be Usnea. And you just pluck it off. Now see, this is not Usnea. But if you see this on branches, there's a good chance there's Usnea very close. And I said just pluck it off. Make sure there's no bark attached, no leaves, anything like that. And you just pluck it right off. And you go over the branch with a fine tooth comb and pluck all the Usnea off, no matter how small it is. Don't waste any of it. But now you can see the other lichen that is on the branches. This one's an oak branch. You look for that, and there's a good possibility, this one, that you're going to find Usnea on it or near it. Not always, but keep your eyes open. The best time to harvest Usnea is another question. My answer, year round. Walk in the woods. It can be a sunny day. You're more likely to find it after a good storm They'll fall down out of the trees, branches, and also just little pieces of Usnea will fall out of the trees. Like I said, just snip the bark off. They will fall down. You can find it on branches, or you can find it in little clumps here and there. You can find it spring, summer, fall, winter, year round. And like I said, just take that where it attaches to the tree. Sometimes it don't have any bark on it. If it don't have any bark on it, you don't have to worry about it. But you only want to get that little piece off. Now, it can look bright and green like this. It can look dark and just creepy. Now, this dried sitting in the bag. See, here's one piece I found attached to a little bit of bark. It was laying on the ground just like that. Now, do you have to wash Usnea? No, because most time it's on branches. Now, if it's in the mud, yes. Don't use no detergent, nothing like that. Just rinse it off. Beautiful, beautiful Usnea. Sometimes, you find really hairy branches. You're just going to take those off. Usnea dries extremely fast. When you find it and bring it home, you can just lay it on a paper towel on your counter. It'll be dry in no time because it's not a moist plant. This is one of a few exceptions that I have finally decided. Well, I decided it a while back. Since it's so dry, you can, with this one, get away with using 80 proof vodka. There's very few exceptions. Usnea is one of them, as long as you let it dry out. Is it still medicinally sound being dry? Absolutely. Because it's going to be pretty much dry in nature when you find it. Little bitty piece. And see that beautiful green. Now, it is most of the time easiest to find in the fall and winter because of the canopy, the flooring of the forest, dark leaves. That sticks out like a sore thumb, y'all. Sticks out like a sore thumb. You can't help but see that. And you just keep on plucking it. Just pluck it off. Now, you can take the time to pluck it off in the woods, but where we go to harvest it, we usually find so much and we have such a big area to walk, we don't take time to pluck it off unless we're having to take a sit down break. But usually we just break the branches down and the smaller branches. Now, of course, it's easier to harvest the big pieces of old man's beard, Usnea, that grows in the northwest. Now, if you live in the northwest and it grows just about everywhere, harvest responsibly. Don't strip it all out. Harvest a good amount here, harvest a good amount there. Because most of the time, you're going to find it still on the trees. You might get lucky and find it on the ground. And you have to look up into the little balls of Usnea, make sure there's no pieces of bark, leaves, any dead looking, rough looking, or as I call it, ratty looking Usnea hiding up in it. And see, there's a little piece that I missed. Another little bitty strand. Yes, I get everything. But like I said, when you see that lichen growing on branches, there's a good chance there is Usnea around you. Now, on this piece, I'm just going to take the edge pieces off. See how brown that looks? There's a few pieces left in there. If it's brown, don't harvest it. It's past its prime. And see right there, you can see the bark where it was attached to the tree branch. Sometimes it comes off easy. Sometimes you gotta fight. Alright, come on. Sometimes you gotta use something just a little stronger. But you see that? Hold on. You see that? You see that? Both of them are Usnea. Still perfectly good to use. One was just spawning, that's all. Once you get used to cleaning it, it'll become easier as you go. I'm trying to think of some other questions. Oh, yes, you can use it in tea. You can make tincture with it. I have not made it into a salve because I don't see a reason to, because it works better as a tea. It will clean wounds. See, there's another pretty piece of it. I get this bark off of it. You just want to make sure there's no bark, any leaves, any ratty, dead looking Usnea in it. But like I said, you could use it as a tincture, you can use it as a tea. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Where's a good piece? Here's a pretty piece of it. You'd be surprised. It does not taste good, but it works wonders. You wouldn't think a little skinny thing like that would be such an amazing medicinal. I swear by Usnea. It is also known to fight sepsis as well. Many, many healing benefits. And as you see, it's not hard to clean. It pretty much comes fairly clean by itself. You just have to get that initial piece of bark off where it attaches to. See, there's another piece. This is what you're looking for. You just, sometimes that little twist hurts. You can snip it off. Here's another very well covered branch. And you can see how the Usnea grows with this lichen as well. Now, this lichen is not what you use. The Usnea is what you'll be harvesting. Now, here's a piece I'm not going to use. Let's see all the white, like, I don't know what that is, mildew, something. That was already on it before we brought it home. We apparently snagged it up without looking. But this I won't use. Now that I will discard. Sometimes it'll just snap off. Sometimes it puts up a fight. Now I'm happy that I'm going to have plenty from this harvest to be able to add to a tea mix, which will be a different video. But you want to make sure there's no brown, from where it's past its prime, no mud. Thankfully, it was pretty dry. Sometimes you just find it on pieces of bark that has fell out of the tree. And I have a bucket over here. See, there's another one. It doesn't look good. It's got the white stuff on it. And guess what? I'm going to discard that. Alright, I think I have covered most of all the Usnea questions. And I'll bring you back as soon as I get done cleaning it up. Okay, finally got done cleaning the Usnea. Got a whole bowl full. Now, the tea recipe I was talking about, I'm going to post that in a couple of days. It's starting to get cool in here, so I'm going to head inside. So let's get this Usnea jarred up and put away. I hope my answering of questions got all the questions answered, because I was trying my best to remember them all. I am so thankful to have this amazing medicinal. And yes, my countertop is clean, so I don't have to worry about when they jump out and get on the countertop. I can pick them straight up. So blessed to have this amazing Usnea. Oh, here we go. Oh, trusty chopstick. And thankfully you can compress Usnea and it won't hurt it a bit. And believe me, I'm going to be trying to compress it all into this jar. Probably not going to succeed, but I'm going to try. I don't know what Jane is after behind the shed. Something is milling around the neighborhood. I should be able to, hopefully. If not, I'm going to be jumping into the house to get a jar. And no, this don't hurt the Usnea, not one bit. yes, folks, I got it all in there. Thankfully. Look at that. You wouldn't have thought I got that whole bowl into that half-gallon jar. Of course, I know what it is, but if I send Junior in here or someone else, they probably won't remember. Usnea 11 2. Yeah. No. 11:23. Good grief. Look at it. Packed full of amazing healing benefits. Now, if I missed a question that you have asked before, hold on, baby. Sorry about that, y'all. It's been a really long, busy day. Let's rephrase that. If I missed a question that you have asked before, please put it in the comment section below this video. Now, in the description box below this video, and every video that I make, except shorts, there will be more information about Usnea and its, sorry y'all, medicinal benefits. I fix I head to bed, y'all, I'm telling you. Usnea is a very important medicinal. I can't stress that enough. And if you have a chance to go out and look for it, definitely do. I gave you all the pointers to look for and just to stay positive. You'll find it. It's out there. Everyone, stay safe and sound. Things are getting wilder and crazier day by day. Continue to stock up your food pantry with food that will sustain and nourish you. Medicinals that will heal you. Protection of all kinds, and the bare necessities to survive on. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot hoot. I'll see you soon.